Actress Rebel Wilson, famously known for her role as Fat Amy in the singing movie series Pitch Perfect, has a book coming out tomorrow, a highly anticipated book. The title of that book is Rebel Rising, a memoir, and what we have learned so far ahead of its release is now Rebel Wilson is claiming that English singer-songwriter sensation Adele hates her. Now, these claims surround the time that Rebel was struggling with her weight journey, but as we know, Rebel has done so well. Rebel Wilson has dropped 80 pounds, reaching the goal in which she wanted to reach with her weight. Rebel Wilson has never had a one-on-one conversation with Adele about how she feels in reference to this, but what's interesting is apparently back in the day, Adele and Rebel Wilson were being confused as each other by fans, as they do look similar. Now, we know, again, both of them went on a weight loss journey. They both have done extremely well. They look extremely great. But according to Rebel, back then, they were getting confused for each other, maybe quite a bit in this circumstance, because Rebel goes into detail about how there was kind of a vibe or maybe some body language that Adele would put off as the two were together at an industry event or within the same room with one another, where it made Rebel question if Adele even really liked her at all. Now, these claims have been confirmed by Us Weekly in one of their latest articles where they are discussing her new book, again, which comes out tomorrow, Rebel Rising, a memoir. Here is the article from Us Weekly and what the excerpt is from Rebel's book talking about this. Rebel states, "Some actresses would get offended if I called them plus size in this book, so I have to be careful with what I say. This is why I think Adele hates me." She goes on to write, "There was a moment when she was bigger, and some people would confuse us for one another. I'm assuming, because to be fair, I've never asked her." Now, what else is very interesting to take away from this excerpt here from Rebel's memoir is that it seemed as if when Rebel and Adele were in the same room with one another at an industry event or wherever they were, Rebel claims that it always seemed Adele would always quickly walk away from Rebel while they were in the same room. Rebel dives deeper into her thought process on that, and she says, "As if my fatness might rub off on her if I were near her for more than 30 seconds, that she didn't like being compared to Fat Amy." Again, Adele and Rebel have never had a one-on-one conversation about this. Adele has also not commented on this excerpt, these claims, since they have been put out by Us Weekly and several other media outlets who have been covering this. So there's no comment from Adele on it, but I would imagine that the two would be supportive of each other throughout their careers and even now, as they've had a very similar path in their journeys to weight loss, which both of them, again, have done outstanding. Something else that I'd like to point out here is Pitch Perfect. The contract that Rebel Wilson had for that movie, apparently, according to Us Weekly, would not allow her to lose weight at that time for her role. And as you can see, there have been previous other roles that she has been in where her weight has been a factor in those roles. But it is interesting to note that the contract for Pitch Perfect, according to Us Weekly, says that she was not allowed to lose weight. In this article, they also share what sort of sparked the weight loss for Rebel. She says, "It first started when I was looking into fertility stuff, and the doctor was like, well, you'd have a much better chance if you were healthier. That's kind of what started it, that if I lost some excess weight, that it would give me a better chance for freezing eggs and having the eggs be a better quality. It wasn't even really myself. It was more thinking of a future mini-me, really. And if not just for herself, in this case, as we heard from Rebel there, that it was for her daughter." Again, Rebel Wilson is doing fantastic. Adele is doing fantastic. And sure, she may have had her ups and downs with it, but ultimately, she's in a really good place. And again, Adele has not commented on this. With the amount of attention and anticipation with this memoir, it would not surprise me if Adele did make a comment about this. This, of course, is something never really easy to talk about, but in this new memoir with Rebel Wilson, for all of you fans out there, this is a book where you're really going to get to know her, and she's letting the cat out of the bag. That's your latest update here at CountryCast. Remember to subscribe down below so you never miss out on any breaking updates and news for your favorite country music artist and all the entertainment news coming right out of Nashville.